Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. Today we're going over Star Wars, The Making of Revenge of the Sith. Love this book. You guys can probably tell. Ton of info I can cover from it, just, short little videos, but they're really sweet, man. In this one, we're going to be going over what George Lucas was telling Hayden Christensen as he was directing him during the Mace Windu and Palpatine duel. Remember that moment where it's kind of poetic because it's like when Anakin was looking towards Palpatine and then looking towards Mace, and he was like, and that was kind of the same sort of poetic moment that Vader has when he's looking at Luke and then to Palpatine. So I always noticed that. That was kind of cool. But anyways, so we're kind of like a fly on the wall here with this book, which is nice. So we're getting to that scene where they're about to film. And you can see here in these photos right here, right? Blue screen and everything, and Anakin standing right there. See Ian McDiarmid getting the makeup on. We land on this scene, and the next setup has Anakin in close as he watches Palpatine and Windu slug it out. The thing to remember is there's a huge display of craziness going on here, Lucas reminds Christensen. As much as I'm watching what's going on, I think I'm really searching myself to see what I'm going to do here, Christensen says. Right, I'm listening to them, but I'm also in my own head at the same time. Lucas agrees, but adds, we still have to get the audience into what you're thinking. When you get into these scenes, you have to be visually reacting to. I feel like Hayden really sold that scene well, because when he was looking towards Palpatine, he's like, oh, I'm gonna save the one you love. And then then he looks to Mace when it's like him, Mace, and then he kind of decides, and you see that shift, and it's the lightning, and it just flashes and it shifts, and Anakin's like, and he looks up at Mace, and it's like, we know what decision he's just made there. They then shoot the moment in which Palpatine implores Anakin to help him. At the point when Palpatine begs for Anakin's help, Jackson points out, I'm bending those lightning bolts back on him. I mean, that's why he's begging, because I got him. I'm like, yeah, who's your daddy now? In the next scene, Anakin becomes Darth Vader. Christensen kneels before McDiarmid, rehearsing his dialogue to himself. Anakin's relationship with Palpatine eclipses his relationship with Obi-Wan. And there's a whole piece here that actually goes over Hayden Christensen explaining Anakin's allegiance to Palpatine and Obi-Wan and how he compares both of them, which I'll make a video on that. It's probably just going to be a couple minutes long. So what I want to say about this is that during that scene, right, there's two different renditions of that scene. The first rendition is where Anakin was actually with Palpatine at his Senate office when Mace Windu, Saesee Tiin, Aegon Kolar came in to arrest him. And Palpatine didn't have a lightsaber, so he asks Anakin for one. And Anakin throws him his. There's that scene, so that kind of changes the whole thing around. And then there's the scene where Anakin flies in and kind of sees it, as it's pretty much coming to an end. Now, in the novel, Anakin actually, pretty dark, he walks over the bodies and the head of Kit Fisto. Like, he sees it all on the floor, and he, literally has to step over them to get to where Palpatine and Mace Windu are. So, some of the stuff in the books are way more in detail, way more gruesome, way more grotesque that I guess George couldn't add into the film, or maybe didn't want to. But as for this scene, you really do get to see in these books, just being a fly on the wall of how George really was directing his actors. And it helps you kind of understand more so the characters and what they were going through from the actor's perspective, from the director's perspective. And that's what I always love about this stuff, is that it really gets you in the mind of the character from the creator himself. That's why I really appreciate these books so much. So that's pretty much it, man. Not going to drag it out. Let me know what you think. I really enjoy reading these books and covering parts from them. And of course, the extra bits of info that I get from them too. So especially when it comes to the prequel trilogy. I have all of them. I have 1 to 6. So I'm excited to go through, indeed, more so in the following videos, and of course comics and fan fictions, and taking the channel back to what made it popular in the first place, stuff that I enjoyed making. Have a great day. May the Force be with you. Leave a like before you leave.